Halo Wars 2 sees the return of everyone's favorite excavation vehicle, the Locust. But, of course, more than just the style of its armor has changed since its debut in the original Halo Wars. The Banished chose to make Unggoy. Yes, Grunts, the primary drivers of their anti-building force. So, why? In Halo Wars, the Locust drivers had particularly deep, guttural voices.
Locust, prepare. Command. Moving to station.
Distinctive of Ensemble Studios' portrayal of the elites in their game. So the Covenant employed Sangheili drivers, but the Banished, who also have access to Sangheili warriors, instead chose to use Grunts. Interesting choice, but why is this? To answer that question, let's look at the composition of the Banished. Starting with Atriox and his Jiralhane forces, then moving on to Sangheili, which seem to be slightly below the Jiralhane rank-wise, then Let Golo in an unsurprisingly advantageous position, and finally Unggoy. As for the Let Golo, even if we look only at Colony's influence and close association with Atriox, it is obvious that the Grunts are hierarchically inferior to the Worm Gestalts. This leaves the Unggoy, as usual, at the very bottom of the chain of command. The Phoenix logs in Halo Wars 2 are the clearest indicator that their role as cannon fodder is much the same as it always was. Their first entry states expendable minions, and they know it. Though derided as cannon fodder, there is no mistaking the military value of having an almost endless supply of cheap infantry armed with plasma pistols to hurl at a foe. Another entry from a Brute Captain mentions 2 separate attempts by Grunts to flee the Banished, and the log on Suicide Grunts states that numerous and violent Unggoy have resulted from their unchecked breeding, thus giving the Banished a reason to use them as suicide bombers. Yep, the Destroyer's uprising is also indicative of the brewing dissatisfaction among the Banished's Unggoy, and apparently some desperate brutes, too. If the Grunts are held in such low esteem, then it makes sense that whatever roles they are given would not be envious ones. With that said, let's look at the Phoenix log entry for the Locust Walker. Locust Walkers are siege vehicles armed with an unstable focus cannon that deals continuous damage to buildings and vehicles. Locusts are fitted with energy shields, but are relatively fragile once those shields are depleted. It goes on to say, the Banished have managed to make these vehicles even more dangerous than they were before. By default, the in-game Banished Locust only has 3 health segments, and like the log said, they're pretty vulnerable once their shields are gone. The comment about the Locust being dangerous, then, applies not just to its object of destruction, but also to the driver. Given the generally poor treatment of Grunts, I think it's safe to conclude that they're assigned to drive Locusts simply because it's a high-risk position for expendable fodder, at least in the Banished size. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and comment down below. Until next time.